Another video here live. I just want to discuss this a little bit. I won't take a lot of you guys' time. I promise tonight I won't. But I was just, as you see, I'm here at site. I was just dealing with my employees and things like that. So, and I got this email, right? So I got this email that came through, and to sum it up, it was pretty long. But to sum it up, what the young lady was basically saying was she's a cleaner, right? She's a small business owner. She have a commercial cleaning, residential cleaning business. She says she frequents my channel here, and what she was wondering if she should downplay her success to appease the male ego, you know. And I can't say that I know how that is, but I can imagine what women would go through. And I thought it would be a unique topic to talk about, because especially seeing that the vast majority of the people that watch me here on YouTube are women. Okay. I don't think that, okay, well, so let me kind of give you her situation, what's going on with her. So she was, you know, at the mall, at a retail outlet. I won't say the name. She told me the name of the store. So she was at a retail store. You know, she's seen a guy, you know, he worked at the retail store. She exchanged numbers with him. You know, I guess he was attracted to her. She was attracted to him. And what happened was they got to talking. She said she went out on one date with him, right? Just a nice little casual date. And she said, you know, you get to asking about each other, you know, where you're from, where, you know, where you have kids, etc., etc. And when it came up to, you know, the schooling, I guess clearly and obviously she's, you know, pretty intellectually sound. She has a good school background, whereas he didn't. He didn't finish school, according to what she said in the email. He didn't finish school, but she said he's intellectual too. He seemed to be pretty bright. And then it came up, you know, job, you know, do you like what you do? How long you been working, you know, for this retail outlet, etc., etc. And then he asked her, you know, do she have a job? You know, what does she do? And she said at that very moment, she thought about downplaying her success, because I guess she's been pretty active. She been watching my videos for a long time, but she's already been established in terms of her business. So she asked me, you know, what I suggest that she should do, you know, in dealing with him, because she don't want to seem like she's superior. And she, you know how the male ego is, how the male ego can be. So what she decided to do was tell him about her, you know, about her business. And at the same regard, she downplayed her success a little bit, because she didn't want to make him feel uneasy. Hang on one second, you guys. Let me see here. One second, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so she didn't want to make him feel, you know, uneasy, because she have a business and she's been in business, and the fact that she makes, you know, a little bit more money. Here's the thing, and this goes out to all my women. If you're simply put making more money than the guy that you might be attracted to, the guy that you might be dating, you know, or whatever, I don't think that you should downplay your success. And here's why. If you're successful on any level, to any magnitude, you're successful. You worked extremely hard for that success. And I do believe, not to be braggadocious or not to be bragging or obnoxious, I do feel like, generally speaking, people would not know about your success until you make them aware of your success. And when you work as hard as maybe myself or maybe this young lady who have her business established, I think it's okay to tell people about it. You know, I mean, you don't have to be overly, braggadocious about it, but it's okay to tell people, yeah, I have a cleaning business, or yeah, I have a, whatever, janitor business, or, building maintenance business, or commercial residential business, or whatever the case is. It's okay to tell people. And that's on any side, male or female. But I'm speaking specifically to my females here because you might run up against that. Okay, you might run up against that. You might come to a point where, you might be attracted to the guy at the McDonald's window, right? And clearly you're not judging him because of what he do. You're just attracted to what you saw, right? So you guys exchange numbers. That don't mean he's any less than you because he work at McDonald's and you're a commercial cleaning business. Because me as an entrepreneur, me as an entrepreneur, generally speaking, the women that I attract generally don't match me income-wise, right? Generally aren't the type that I would say that's college graduate. They might have a high school diploma, but now these are the type of women that I attract. I'm not saying necessarily that these are always the type of women that I date. These are the type of women that I attract in that regard, right? And those who I get approached by, these specific type of, females. So, like I say, and sometimes you date them, sometimes you date them. Me, I'm a motivator. So if you're not where you're at dating me, you're going to be motivated, highly motivated dating me, because I'm going to motivate you to the hill. I'm going to let you know you can do this, you should do this, you should try that. And it's not always about business, okay? And I'm here to tell you, ladies, too, if you find a guy that you're attracted to and he's not necessarily a business-minded person, don't try to shove business down his throat, okay? Because he's not a business-minded. As you get to learn him and speak to him and talk to him and get to know him, I would suggest that you help build him. They say behind every great man is a strong woman. So he could be a great man and still work at, McDonald's, right? He can be a great man and still work at Foot Locker, whereas you have this commercial cleaning business or this residential cleaning business. To a certain degree, in his mind, he's gonna feel probably uneasy about it because the status quo is where the man make more money than the woman. But when the woman make more money than the man, sometimes it can cause a little insecurity in the man, right? Sometimes it can cause a lot of arguments. And it's not because of, that is the woman's fault. The argument could come about because the guy isn't too confident within himself, right? And sometimes that happens. Whereas, like I say, like you can make a lot of money and the guy that you're with may not make a lot of money. But he's always going to feel that he's in competition with the rest of the universe. And you might really like this guy. But in his mind, it's going to be like, oh, she has money. She can probably date who she want to date. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to run up, you're going to run up your back against the board, so to speak, with this guy. And that's not healthy, So to all my women that, that watch me and people that might have the same question, whereas they might make more money than the person whom they're dating, be a healthy backbone to them. Jesus, what's going on here? Be a healthy backbone to them, right? Don't judge him for the fact that you make more money than him, right? Because like I say, he's already going to have an insecurity complex. He's always going to have this insecurity thing because you make more money than him, right? And he's going to feel like because you make more money than him, that he has to work extra hard and do extra things to try to keep you. Because with men, power is equated with money, generally speaking. The more money a guy have, the more power you feel like he have, right? The less money that he has, the more he feel inferior, the more he feel he's not as confident, right? So when the pose is flipped, so to speak, and the woman has more money, that's a level of insecurity for a guy. Not all guys. Some guys, I am sure is out there, won't date a woman that makes more money than them. And this is only my perspective, you guys, is my opinion. I'm not saying it's concrete, but a lot of guys won't date women who make more money than them, right? So like I say, like, to take it back to my situation, like I say, most women that I date, they're not on an even keel with me, right? We're not on an even keel. Generally speaking, I make more money than them. But I don't judge them for the lack of money, right? Or the lack of money that they have. At the very end of the day, for me, it's to kind of help build them up, especially if you like them, right? You help build them up, you motivate them, you encourage them to go after their goals, their dreams. And it might not be entrepreneurial. They may have wanted to go back to school, or they might want to be an engineer, or they might want it to be a pastor or an evangelist, or whatever the case is. So you just help build them in the realm in which they wanted to go into, okay? Instead of shooting them down, or instead of saying, hey, I make this amount of money, I can do this, I don't really need you. That's the last thing that you would want to tell a guy when he know and you know that you both, when he know and you know that you have the power in this regard. Again, like I say, most times speaking, men equate power with money. Okay, so like I say, if you can help build him up, build him up. If that's not your thing and you just so kind of caught up in yourself and the realm of your business and things like that, this may not work for you. So to the young lady that emailed me here on with my email, like I said, I was compelled to do a video because, like I say, I know majority of the people that watch me is females. You know, they're starting their residential cleaning business, their commercial cleaning business, their hair salons, whatever the case is. And a lot of them are going to make a lot of money. They're going to be successful as long as they apply some of the stuff that I talk about here on my YouTube channel, you know, being persistent and consistent and being motivated and keeping the faith and everything that you hear me take action and all the stuff that you hear me talk about. You have no way to go but up as long as you apply those things, right? So again, like I said, to recap on basically what I said is, if you're attracted to a guy, and again, this just goes out to my women, if you're attracted to a guy and you happen to be the breadwinner, you know, you're the one that have the business, you're the one that make the most money, he don't. Again, he's generally, because he's so macho, he's not going to necessarily say, like, I have a problem with you making more money than me. Okay. I think your job as the woman, and it's not necessarily very early on, you know, you can kind of court and date him and kind of get a feel for him and see if you guys have that chemistry. But once you identify that this is the person you want to, you know, be with, at least for a significant amount of time, or maybe for a long-term situation, I feel like you should help him help himself, okay? Because he might work at, let's say, Foot Action or Foot Locker. He might work in the mall, in the the courtyard or whatever, the food court, I guess, at the mall. And the fact that you have a business makes him feel a certain way. So, like I say, I feel like you should help build him. You should help build him. Identify what his flaws are. Identify what, you know, he want to do with his life. You know, help him help himself. Okay? Now, if there's guys out there that don't want to be with the woman that's in power, and if you just joining me, guys, I want you to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. But if you meet a guy and he don't have a problem with that, the fact that you're the breadwinner, or the fact that you make a significant amount more money than he do, then that's cool. You know, that's just a confident guy that's confident with the fact that you make more money. He's okay with it, and his mindset, he should be trying to level it up to you. And I spoke about this a long time ago on my Facebook. I went live, but he should level up and come up to where you are, or you should at least demand it. Okay, because and this can go both ways, but sometimes people get comfortable with being stagnant, being in one position, right? So if you're up here and he's down here, and you didn't judge him for being down here because you're up here, then I think the ultimate game should be to help elevate that guy to your level. That way you can meet heads, right? You can meet heads. But because he's down here and you're up here, don't mean you're no better. It just means you took action. You went a different route. You was more consistent. You was more persistent, right? You had a positive mental attitude. You went for your goals or your dreams. Whereas he could have went for his goals and dreams and whatever and just gave up, right? So this is where you can step in and help this specific guy out. So again, to the woman that emailed me, she said, like, once again, she has a cleaning business. She watched my YouTube channel. She's really attracted to the guy. The guy works at a national retail store in a mall. She found him to be attractive. I guess attractive enough to exchange numbers with them. They went on their little date and things like that, and got to know each other. And when it came down, obviously she knew what he did, but he asked her, what did she do? And again, she felt almost embarrassed to say what she did, not because it's cleaning, but the fact that off bat, she knows she makes more money than this guy, off bat. And this is the actual person here on my YouTube channel, right? So she wanted to know from me, should she downplay her success to not feel like she's bragging or not feel like she think that she's better than him or whatever. And I told her, you work extremely hard. Extremely hard. Whatever money you make monthly, residually, or annually, or whatever the case is, you worked hard for that. So I don't believe necessarily that she should downplay her success because she worked so hard to get where she's at. And if a guy can't accept the fact that you worked hard for your success to get to the point where you are, financially, educational wise, whatever the case, if you're a college grad, whatever the case is, if a guy can't accept that, I'm not entirely sure that that's the guy for you. Okay, and for my females that's in a relationship already, I just was giving you guys her story because she sent me the email that made me compelled to do this live, to go live, or to do this video. But if you're in a relationship right now, you with a guy, he shoots you down for starting up a cleaning business, a residential cleaning business, I'm not entirely sure that that's the guy for you, especially in the very beginning, because see, excuse me, you haven't even made a profit yet, right? You haven't even started your business, or you just barely got started. You got your DBA, or you get your federal tax ID, you got your banking. So you're in the startup process, and he can't even accept that. I'm not sure that this relationship is going to work. Again, I'm not Mr. Relationship expert. I'm not even a cleaning expert, right? The big, head honcho of things. All I'm saying is, based on how I'm thinking this thing could turn out, it may not turn out favorable for the woman if she's really in love with this guy, or she's really liking this guy. And now I'm talking about females that's already in a relationship that just want to start their business. Okay? Because when a guy starts a business and the guy is the head honcho, generally speaking, that attracts women. Okay? That attract women, because women like power. They like to be under somebody that's successful and, could use, have a helping hand, or to build them, that they can feel secure under, the things of this sort. Conversely, guys don't like, generally speaking, guys don't like when the woman make more money, when the woman is in power. Okay? Now, this day and age, the way I see it, especially in society today, it seems like the woman is taking care of the guys these days. Like, these guys, guys not motivated. right? And I don't want to offend anybody. I'm not saying all guys, you know, especially if the guys is here on my YouTube channel. I'm sure the guys here on my YouTube channel is extremely motivated, right? Extremely motivated. But I'm just saying, kind of in society where we're at now, I know more guys that stay with women than I know women that stay with guys. And these are just women that just got a job, right? They're not necessarily business owners, right? They just have a job. I know, again, more guys who stay with women than I know women who stay with guys. Where she's the breadwinner of this castle, so to speak, right? She's the one that's making the money. She's the one that have the job. She's the one that's paying the utilities, that's paying the car note, that's paying this, that's paying that. She's the one that worked 14 to 16 hours as a CNA or at a nursing home or at a law firm or whatever the case is, right? A hospital, whatever the case is. Whereas the guy, a lot of times, be the one that's at home playing the video games, you know, maybe smoking or maybe, you know, just hanging out with his friends or whatever the case is. And again, I feel like there should be a level of, you know, a matchable level, if you will. Again, I feel like if the woman is up here, either she should motivate the guy to elevate, or it may be a unbalanced situation, if you will. It could be an unbalanced situation. Whereas, as long as you're up here, ladies, and the guy is down here, it may make him feel a certain type of way, and it may result in some things happening that you probably don't want to happen. In terms of, because, and I got homeboys, I tell them this all the time. I say, I got guys, they, you know, their girls work, right? They say what they girls, you know, and the girl will be at work and the guy be all on the Snapchat, right? All on the Facebook, and, you know, they go on live and they're looking for new girls while the girl is at work. I'm like, dude, you should be elevating. You should be in the library somewhere. You should be trying to put some job applications in, or you should be trying to start a business or whatever the case is. But again, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. So even though I might be associated with them and, you know, they might like the fact that I have a business, and they cool with that, they're just not motivated enough to do enough. Regarding binding contracts, I'm still purchasing my partner. Okay, not a problem. So they might not be motivated enough to do what they supposed to do in terms of matching themselves with the woman. Okay, like I say, generally speaking, men is generally the head honcho. Okay, generally speaking, men is the head honcho. But, and the women, you know, come in and women get comfortable under that. But again, when it's reversed, a lot of times what happens is guys can't deal with that. They don't know how to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that. Okay, so if the woman can help elevate the guy to her level and motivate her in the regards of starting her own little, him starting his own business, or him being motivated to go to school, or him being motivated to, you know, get a job that, you know, that pays pretty decent, then I think it'll be a balanced out situation. Okay, so again, man, I didn't really want to take a whole lot of you guys' time with this video. If you got any questions for me while you got me live here, I'll be more than willing to go ahead and answer the questions. Otherwise, you can email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com, bookfabiohart@gmail.com, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. I did, like I said, wanted to get this video off because I had an email that came through where a woman, she found a guy she was attracted to. The guy happened to be, you know, working for a large retail chain within the mall that she went to, and she were kind of, like I say, embarrassed to pretty much tell him that she had a cleaning business. So she kind of downplayed her business. to not make him feel, uneasy. So she asked me what I thought she should do in terms of should she downplay her business. And again, I think anybody that worked really hard, whether you're really smart, you go to college, you graduated college, graduated high school, I don't feel like you should downplay that. Okay. Now, I don't think you should just boast and kind of just throw it in people's face. It's a way to do it, but I don't think you should downplay it. Because if you started up a cleaning business, a hair salon, or whatever the case is, a residential cleaning business, I think you worked entirely too hard to downplay your own success. You deserve to tell people about your success. You deserve it, right? Because no one gave it to you. You worked extremely hard for it. You did what you had to do to position yourself to be the absolute best you as possible. So people should know about that. And that's why I love Kim Kardashian. I love her with a passion. I love what her brand stands for, because she's not afraid to tell you that, hey, I'm Kim Kardashian and this is what I do. She can be risque at times, with her photos and things like that. From a man perspective, I don't mind. But however, from a business perspective, that's part of her brand. That's what she does. She's still getting endorsements. She's still, it works for her. All right. Now, you might not, if you're a woman and watching this, it might not necessarily work for your brand if you had a cleaning business, right? So, if anything, you might lose business, right? So, but what I'm saying is, I love the woman power. I love the camaraderie that a lot of times women have, the womanhood, the whole thing that they have going on. And when you can unite, kind of like how those Kardashian girls have, I think it's a beautiful thing, I think it's an extremely beautiful thing. So keep your head on a swivel, so to speak. Stay focused, you guys. Again, if you guys have any questions while you got me, I'll be more than willing to go ahead and answer them real quick. This wasn't meant to be an hour video, 2-3 hours videos as some of my other videos are. But I did want to address the topic because a lot of people might see this video and battle that. I might get some emails, or some people might leave comments and be like, you know what, Fabio, you're right. I am dating a guy that's not real thrilled about my cleaning business, or don't want me to be successful because he think I might leave him eventually. And for a guy that have that type of mindset, he probably don't deserve you, if he got that mindset. Because if I got a woman, she's making more money than me, I'm going to kind of watch. I'm a Virgo, I'm very analytical. So I'm going to kind of watch and see how she moves. And maybe I might be able to learn something from her, right? And just because I'm Fabio Hard doesn't mean I know everything, right? I don't know everything. So I might actually date somebody that is doing better than me and that I can learn from. And that's what I would suggest a guy to do that's in a position where his girl makes more money than him. Learn from her. You don't necessarily have to go in competition or be a business owner, but there's certain mechanics and there's certain qualities and certain things that she have that you can use in your everyday life, I'm sure. You might not be entrepreneurial, but it might be certain things that she's doing that might be able to help you out. Okay? Again, this is just more or less for my women dealing with guys that's not on an even keel, so to speak, as themselves. I know the fellas might be like, oh shit, this video is boring. He's not, it's not. But guys, what you have to realize is we dominate for the majority, for the most part, we dominate things, right? We dominate shit. Like, so at the end of the day, me talking about a woman coming into a man's world is not as appealing because it's regular, right? It's what happens generally speaking in today's marketplace. Generally speaking, the man makes more than the woman, right? So then the woman comes into the man world and try to adapt to the way the man works, right? So, but like I said, man, when the script is flipped, so to speak, and the woman is the head honcho, she's the breadwinner, right? She makes the most money and the guy is down here. Then I think either the woman should help, like I said earlier, should help elevate the man up. So now that they're equal, Leon, Fabio, what you been up? What's up? What you been up to? Man, yeah, I think it's been about 2 weeks since I did a video. Maybe, I think about 2 weeks, something like that. I just been working, man. We got picked up new contracts. Uh, Everything is just in motion. Everything is in motion. I'm having a great 2018 year. I'm already looking forward towards 2019. Um, Everything is just, I'm pretty in a pretty good position right now. Some things, different things within my company that I'm changing. Like I say, come time, come growth. So within time, you should always grow. I'm steady reading. I'm steady staying head first. In terms of what's going on in the marketplace. What's new, technology wise. I'm not really a technical guy or a technology type of guy, but I try to stay abreast to what's going on. But everything is good my way. Don, how's everything your way? What we're talking about today, Don, is I have received an email from a lady that has a cleaning business. She watched me here on YouTube, and she had bumped into a situation where she found this guy to really be cute, really be attractive, but he works at a large retail chain, right, within the mall that she goes to. And she went out on a date with him, and what she was saying was, she knew what he did, obviously, but he didn't necessarily know what she did. So when he asked her and she explained, what she did, she said she downplayed her success a little bit. And she was wondering, by asking me, sending me an email, she was wondering if she did the right thing in that regard. Should she downplay her success when she meet guys that she attracted to that might not be on the same income level as her? So I decided to do a live video and talk about the notion. But anyway, again, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. If you guys don't have any questions, you can always email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com. bookfabiohart@gmail.com. If you need coaching is going up. Coaching is still available. Coaching is going up on the 1st, July 1st. My coaching is going up to $100 an hour. Right now, it's only $75 an hour. If you guys need it, I'm not trying to sell it to you. I'm just letting you know and making you aware. So if you ever need it, that's what the price would be, $100 an hour. Other than that, if you guys have any questions, concerns, anything going on, any deals. Oh, shout out to Kevin. Kevin, I want to give you a live shout out right here. I think I did on my other 2 videos. I did a couple videos early on tonight about one of my YouTube subscribers here. But Kevin, he just landed his first contract. He's actually local to me. He's west of where I'm at. And I want to shout him out. He sent a letter into email to me. My assistant got it. She made me aware. So Kevin, if you're watching this, I helped Kevin over the phone. I helped him over the phone in terms put his numbers and structure his estimate. I don't think he had done one at that point, and he needed my help to help with his estimate. So we ran the numbers. We did it in the Fabio systematical way, and he got the contract. At least he wrote in and let us know that he did receive the contract. So he's due to start that very, very soon. It's his very first contract. So Kevin, if you're watching this, man, or if you get a chance to see this, what I want to tell you, bro, is keep going. I'm glad you got the contract. I told you I don't always get it right all the time, but I kind of know, especially in the Michigan area, I kind of know about what to charge. So when I was talking to Kevin, I'm not going to go into any details, but his price was right and a little too high, I think, if I remember correctly. And I told him, bring it down between this range and this range. I didn't give him specific numbers to charge, but I pretty much safe to say that he got the contract. I helped him with it based on the information that he got from his walkthrough. He gave it to me, and right over the phone, we just helped write it up. We helped put it together, turned his estimate in, and apparently he got the contract. And by the way, I didn't charge him for that either, you guys. You know, so yeah, man, I just want to see my subscribers win. I had another subscriber. She hit me up from Georgia, and she made a few mistakes, but we spoke and helped her iron that out and got it together. So I'm looking forward to her getting her first deal. So, but like I said, man, it's just a work in progress, Kevin. Like I said, if you're watching this, dude, you know, generally speaking, that first contract help motivate you to get more contracts and more contracts and more contracts and more contracts. Because once you get in there and you get to working and you know that, yo, like, I really got this contract all by myself, it just does something to you. It just does something to the insides. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I got this. And now that I have this is like an assurance, a reassurance that I can do this business. That this business is really for me, that I really, really can make a profit from this business. We've been calling mostly preschools from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Most of them tell me they already have a company. How would you deal with that objection? And it's not just with schools, Don. When you get any objection from any potential client or prospect, whatever, the most you can do is bow out gracefully, okay? But a tactic that I like to use is ask them, would it be okay if I call back the next quarter, right? Or would it be okay if I call back in about 3 months to see where you're at with it, okay? Schools that might be, unless you have the manpower for that, it might be a little too big for you. So I would suggest, like I say, my big thing is clinics. I love clinics. Chiropractors, like dentists, car dealerships. And I just find these to be good paying accounts. And I'm talking about on a very small to medium base situation. A very small to medium base. I'm not talking about like this type of account, right? It's going to take a lot of, you know, quite a bit of manpower, right? Because it's a big facility. So unless you got the staff for that to handle the school, I'm not sure how big the school is. I would kind of, in the early on stages, Don, I would kind of stay away from that, the schools, unless you know without a shadow of a doubt that you can handle that. Okay? But if you know you can, then you might want to look at plants. I'm a big proponent of plants. Like, I love plants. They pay out pretty good to me. And I'm talking about in the excess of sometimes in the double digits, depending on how big the plant is. I mean, you can get a plant that'll pay you 9, 10 grand. Really, you know what I'm saying? And it just depends on how big the facility is, etc., how you negotiate it. I'm calling preschools and daycares. Okay. Let me ask you, Don, is there any, or Leon, is there any reason why you targeting just preschools and daycares? I'm just kind of curious to know. And have you done any walkthroughs at all with any? Like, have you gotten any, you know, were you just done any walkthroughs with any? I'm just kind of curious to know why you target. Not saying that it's a bad thing. I just want to know why. Because most of my customers are preschools and daycares. Okay, most of your customers. You say most of your customers are preschools and daycares. So you currently have daycares that you clean, or preschools that you clean? Most of them. Okay, you do. Okay, so you stand in your niche is basically what you're saying. You stand in your niche. Well, the most that I could tell you is that you're not going to hit a home run on everyone, and that's obvious. You know that. But the most I could tell you is kind of keep calling. But to combat the objection, what I would suggest is that you ask them, would it be okay if you call back the next quarter of the year, right? Or call back within 3 months, or 2 months or whatever. Probably 2 months is too quick. So I would say, would it be okay if I call back or, or check back with you guys within 3 months, see where you're at with it? Or would it be okay if I check back with you guys the next quarter to see where you're at with it, right? That way you can kind of, you're bottling out, but you're seeing if it's okay to contact them back within a certain time frame. That way you can see, because by that time frame, by the time they come around, whoever they have now, they might not be too happy or too thrilled about within the next 4 months or so, right? So that's why I would suggest you do it that way. If they say it's okay to call back, then make a slight note, on your paperwork, on your sheet or whatever, however you keep a tally of everything. Make a slight note, call back next quarter, call back in 2 months, call back in 3 months, and then follow up. Call back, hi, I'm Leon with such and such a cleaning company. I just wanted to do a follow-up phone call. I talked to you guys about 3 months ago. Just wanted to see where you were at with it and were you still satisfied with your commercial cleaner, right? Something along those lines. That's kind of off the top of my head. But that's how you would kind of approach it, okay? I've been offering a free carpet cleaning, and still, yeah, sometimes they don't go for it. I would keep trying, man. Thanks. Not a problem. Yeah, sometimes they don't go for it. The carpet cleaning. You can offer a free building cleaning. Maybe they might give you a shot. You can tell them, hey, you don't even have to fire your company. I just want to show you what we can do, right? And you can actually go in. They can still, keep the contract, right? You just want to show your work. And if you can out clean them, that's what it's going to boil down to. Out cleaning and the price. So once you figure out what the cleaner, and sometimes it can be hard too, Leon, because generally speaking, they build relationship. No, not a free month. Not a free month. A free one-time cleaning. A free one-time cleaning. A free month that's too much work. You do a free one-time cleaning. You go in there and you say, well, yeah, free one-time cleaning, right? You clean it one time. You say, hey, this is a promotional thing that we have going on within our company. We're offering a free one-time cleaning for companies with square footage of such and such and such and such, right? So you give them. I see you, Heather. Hold on 1 second. So you say, I give you a free cleaning between square foot such and such and such and such, right? And then you just give them a free cleaning. It shouldn't be that clean because, it shouldn't be that dirty if they have a cleaner, right? So they should kind of cut your work in half, but it gives you a chance to kind of go in, use techniques, do different things to try to impress them. So once you impress them, it's over from there. Now they might not cancel their current cleaner because of the relationship. Sometimes they build that relationship and then they get comfortable with the cleaner that they have. But in the event that cleaner fuck up, you should be next in line because they're going to remember you from when you did that free cleaning, right? So it's a lot of different ways that you can try to approach it. I never actually did it that way. It's just something that I thought about just as I'm speaking to you. I never tried it, but it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound like a bad idea, right? So you might want to give that a shot. Just keep me posted either way. Let me see here. Heather say, any tips on what to say / do when you walk in? Cold calling is getting me nowhere. Oh man, cold calling is one of the hardest things. And here's the thing with the cold calling, and I'm going to answer your question, Heather. The thing with the cold calling is you got to make way more calls than you used to. You have to make way more calls than you used to. Even when I call for myself or have my people call, I should say, on my behalf, like to do my lead generation for myself, man, the calls is ridiculous. And I found out, I'm like, man, it used to didn't be this hard. It used to, but you can get traction. You're gonna have those days. Some days you might make 500 calls and you get some traction. And sometimes you might make 500 and you get, I swear to God, you get no traction. Because it used to be, you know, a status quo. You make 100 calls, you get, you know, maybe two potential leads or something. Like, man, that's no longer. It's a lot of freaking calls now. A lot of calls. And even with my staff, man, I put their backs against the wall because, you know, I'm paying them. So obviously I want a return on that, right? So I need to get walkthroughs. But the thing is, 4 appointments only because a customer came last. Yeah, see, Don, and it happens, man. It happens, but it took you 400 calls. Like, it used to take as many calls. Some people have hot markets too, depending on where you're at in the country. Some people market is a lot hotter than other markets. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. Okay, now let me answer her other questions. You wanted to know, what do you say / do when you walk in? Okay, well, I have many videos about this, Heather, but instead of having you go look through hundreds of my videos, the way I would suggest you walk in, right? First, you make sure you acknowledge that it says that there's no soliciting signs, okay? Because a lot of times people will ignore that. If there's no soliciting signs, you walk in, you identify who the receptionist is, because that's most likely who you're going to run into in any building. I don't care if it's a dentist's office or a public building or whatever, right? You're going to run into some type of receptionist or somebody that's between you and a decision maker. You walk in, hi, I'm Heather with such and such a cleaning company. Who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning for your building? Okay? And then you stop right there. You let them tell you who you would speak to. At that point, they might say, Dr. Chuck, whatever. Dr. Chuck is the person you speak to. You say, great. Is Dr. Chuck available to speak at this time? They'll generally say, hang on. Either A, call this line, which should be in the back somewhere, right? If you don't pick up, or they'll say, do you have a minute? Could you hold tight? Then they'll go and look for Dr. Chuck and say, Dr. Chuck, you have somebody out front that want to see you, right? At that point, what'll happen is either Dr. Chuck will give the receptionist a message and say, I'm busy right now, I can't speak, get their phone number, get their business card, or whatever, right? Or Dr. Chuck might say, well, what do they want to speak to me about? Okay, so there's different ways that can go, Heather. Okay, so once you identify that is Dr. Chuck, that's the decision maker, right? That's the one that's going to hire you. Then you want to kind of make a notation that that's the contact person. So what you can do is usually, you know, you walk in a building, a dentist's office, or, you know, in a clinic or whatever, they have the cards right there on the desk. Just take one of the cards, take an ink pen that you might have, put on the front the receptionist person, because you want to know who you spoke to initially. So let's say you spoke to Melissa, you write her name on the front of the card if it's not already up there. And then on the back of the card, you write contact person Dr. Chuck. That's what I do. And I do that for follow-up reasons. So in case I have to call, number one, I remember who I spoke to initially. Number two, I know who the contact person is, so I can lean on that. And that's how I would suggest you to do it. Okay, like I say, it can go a lot of different ways. Sometimes the person will come up front and speak to you briefly. Sometimes they'll send a message through the receptionist or whomever that person is, right? Or sometimes they'll ask for your business card to pass along to the decision maker, which in this case it'll be Dr. Chuck. So there's a lot of different ways that can go. When I call, I say I'm calling in regards to commercial cleaning of this facility. Yeah, that's what I taught you here. I got 25% before my battery run out here. Let me see. Yeah, that's what I taught you to say, Leon, here. You know, you call, you say, you know, the truth is you have to be very good over the phone. You can be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be over the phone. But the fact of the matter is that the phones is becoming hard. It's becoming hard, and here's why. Just think of how many likely scam numbers you see, right? They want to sell you insurance. They want to sell you life insurance. They want to sell you ink pens. They want to sell you toothpicks. They want to sell you veterans donations, right? They want to sell you fighter fire donations. They want to sell you police donations. So I'm saying all this to say that, generally speaking, people get a lot of calls per day from different telemarketers about different subjects or different things, whether it's a service that somebody is offering or whether it's a product that somebody is offering. And that's what I'm finding. That's the hang up. So you can have the most professional script, like my script is very professional, very detailed, right? I train my people, they use the script, it works, but it takes even more calls these days for us to get walkthroughs than it used to take us in the past. And that's only because of the technology. Nowadays, people got robots calling you. You say hello, and it seems like they take 5 hours before they say hello. The reason for our call is to let you know that you won a sweepstakes with, you see what I'm saying? Like, so those doctors get those same type of calls, right? Those people get those, right? Again, my friend, you can be you can have the most professional voice, right? You can have the most professional script, okay? It's only so much that you can say. When you first call, you have to introduce yourself in some type of way, right? People want to find out what's the reason for the call. So there's really no way of getting by that, right? So at the very least, you're going to say that. You're going to say what's the reason for your call, and you're going to say pretty much what you're calling about, which is one and the same, and you're going to identify yourself. Okay? So, hi, my name is Tony. I'm calling in regards to whatever, right? You might not say it that particular way, right? But you're still going to identify yourself and what's the reason you're calling for. At the end of the day, it's going to take many calls to get that traction that you want. That's why I'm the biggest proponent of going door to door. And now even mailings. I did another video early on tonight where I stopped doing, sending out flyers and things like that because I didn't, number one, it's kind of cheap. Didn't want to pay the postage. Number two, it's just time consuming, right? You stuff in envelopes and things like that unless you have the self-addressed kind of thing going on. But I didn't want to necessarily pay the postage and kind of go through that hassle. But I started sending some out, man, and I started getting phone calls. So I did a video early on about that. Yeah, I was gonna mail or direct mail. Yeah, I started sending out and I started getting a nice response back. So I said, well, hell, if I'm getting a nice response back from the mailing, sending out my flyer. Now it's not about the actual piece of mail, it's the content on the flyer that's gonna sell them. That's gonna make them. You have to have a call to action, right? You have to have a call to action. You have to have a call to action, right? It has to be something in your body, on your flyer, to convince them or to convey to them that they need to call you ASAP, right? They need to pick up the phone and make a call and say that they received your flyer. So you have to convey that somehow. You have to structure your flyer in such a way that it works, okay? Other than that, you're going to be, running your back against the wall, so to speak, okay? But it definitely can be done. Heather, hopefully I answered your question. Again, you want to identify who you are. You have no choice but to do that. And pretty much the reason for your call. I would suggest that you go door to door. It's kind of one and the same. When you walk in door to door, you're going to see the receptionist. You say, hi, I'm Heather, such and such, with such and such a cleaning company. Who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning? Stop right there and let her respond or him respond. They're going to tell you, you need to talk to... They're going to tell you need to talk to such and such. He's not available at this time, right? And then you say, well, Could I leave a message, or do you have a business card, or do you have a number for them, or email, whatever you say, right? Again, identify who the decision maker is. Identify who you spoke to first. Do you ever do anything online? No. In terms of marketing, not much. I don't find it to work too much for me. I have used maybe social media platforms. I do find when I advertise my on the residential side using social media, I get a nice response when I'm doing residential marketing online. Pretty nice response. For business, no. I don't find that to be the case. Most companies that call me that I haven't solicited came through a referral. So we clean another building with maybe somebody that they're friends to, and we get that business on a referral. That's how I get most of unsolicited business. Okay, it's very rare that I'll get somebody to say, "Hey, I seen you online" or something like that, right? So, or I heard about you through Facebook or something like that. Cleaning homes, residential, yes. Business, no. A lot of times I get it through referrals. And you can get referrals too through the homes this the same way. But if I was going to market my residential, I might use the likes of maybe a Facebook advertising, or like a sponsor ad or something like that. Because I feel like these are the people that I can drive and I can direct the message to be able to eventually, I guess, pick up that particular home account, their residential account. Whereas I find it's not of an advantage for me to do it online looking for commercial. But that's just for me. It might work for you. You might have extreme success with it, right? So, and that just means you know what you're doing online. Whereas you have it, you have it polished enough where you could market online and be able to get that traction. So again, I'm not saying that online marketing don't work. I'm just saying that I haven't found it to work for me in terms of commercial side of things. But like I said, most unsolicited business that I get, meaning business that I haven't solicited at no angle, at no point, most unsolicited business that I get come from somebody that we currently clean from. So direct mail might be more effective than online. I got you. Yeah, yeah. If you got a nice flyer, you got a nice flyer. The wording on the flyer is good. You have a great call to action. You got to have something in there to make it urgent for them to want to call you right away. There's got to be something in there to stick out to say, this offer ends by such and such, right? You got to have a great mail piece to make them to convey that and make them want to pick up the phone and call you. And yeah, I think in some regards, direct mail might be a good way to go opposed to online if you're doing it for the commercial side of things. But if people making money online with it and it's working and they got a system, that's good. You have to read any Don. That's a commercial. No, I haven't. To be honest, I haven't read any I'm not saying business, but any commercial cleaning books in a long time, and I own a lot of them. I own a lot of different authors. Pretty much they say the same thing, just the general basic stuff that you can find online. Some books say, got a few different little tweaks and different techniques, but I haven't read any commercial cleaning books in a very, very long time. Haven't really found the need to. Also, I haven't seen one that stuck out to say, what, this is different. This is something different. This is unique. Let me, do something different with this one, right? So, but yeah, you guys have any more questions here? Any more questions, you guys? Okay, well, if you guys don't have any more questions, if you do, you can always email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. You can answer your questions there. My assistant will get it and get it over to me. If you want to speak to me personally about anything or whatever the case is, then you have to leave your name and number. I'll call you back. Is there any book that has forms in it? Any book that has forms in it. What do you mean forms, like contracts and things like that? No. No. Let me see. I mean, I think, I've read books that might have had like scribble scrabble lines, like how it would look, like if you were to structure it like a structure, but nothing to have a clear cut form that you can use. What is your cleaning rate? For example, how long does it take to clean certain type of facilities? Well, it just depends on the facility. Every building is different, right? So the rate is different. It just depend. It depend on on the facility. Like where I'm at now. Do you wax and strip floors? Not in house. We outsource that. Now I do have the machines, the waxer and a stripping machine, the buffers. We have the floor machines, but I don't personally have any in-house employees, I should say, that does that. Carpet cleaning, I have a carpet cleaning machine. I do have the floor machines. We have the machines, but I just don't do it in-house. I outsource that to a third party. So that's how so when we offer that, it's outsourced to a third party, and we give them, generally speaking, majority of the revenue. We take a smaller percentage of it, since they did the work. We brought them the job, but they did the work. I believe in, if you pay the man good, then a guy will come back and do good work for you. He'll continue to be on your roster. He'll continue to work with you because he know you pay good. But no, I don't personally do it in-house, but I do have the machines in the event that I ever had to do it. I have the machines for it. Why not do it yourself? Because when I initially started my business, I started my business just on the notion of just general cleaning. That's all I really wanted to do. I wanted to kind of stay in the niche, and then I started branching out. And I mean, I didn't specialize in that, right? I made myself knowledgeable about it, what solutions and what, machines and different things like that I should use. I did research on it. So I wanted to be knowledgeable about it, but that's just not something that I really wanted to do, So I figure, if I don't specialize in this, and this is not really something I want to do, but I want to offer this service, how can I offer this service and still be effective? Still have a good stand on my building, have a good grip on things. I said, well, you know what? I need to find somebody that's been doing this way longer than me, that's an expert in this, that knows these machines, that knows these floors, that knows what to do, that have a great track record. I can outsource that to that person, right? Give them more of the revenue on that particular deal. Me take a smaller percentage, because I'm still going to clean this building, right? Week after week, month after month anyway. I'm still going to be able to build them on a monthly basis, just as long as we just take care of that general cleaning. What this guy is going to do is a one-time stripping and waxing job, or a one-time carpet cleaning job, and they might not need it for another 6 months, maybe another year, just depending on the floors and the foot traffic and how dirty it gets, right? So they're going to do that one time for me, and I'm still going to be billing this account week after week, month after month, right? So that was my philosophy. So that's why I decided to go that route. Like, I do window cleaning. I have people for window cleaning. Right now, my employees do that. The window cleaning, that's pretty basic. I learned techniques and things like that. Do window cleaning, train them on how to do window cleaning. Got DVDs and certain training videos and things like that to train them on. but the actual carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, the VCT floor cleaning type of jobs, I outsource that stuff. You guys have any more questions? I have like 15% here left. I just want to make sure that do I have a general rule that I follow? Thanks, I'm good for now. A general rule that I follow. Well, I usually kind of break it down within my estimate breakdown sheet, right? And I've been using that for years, and it's been working for me. So based on the square footage, it'll give me a general idea about how long it's going to take to do the job, right? Now, based on that on the document, okay, I kind of know about how much I'm going to charge for the square footage and about how long it's going to take me to do the job. But just for an example, it might say, let's say 4 hours for whatever square footage. It might not take me 4 hours, but that's just a general idea about how long it's going to take for that particular square footage. So that's how it's systematically broken down for me. Okay, and that's just the way that I work it in, that I run it, and it's been working for me for years. So when I put an estimate in, I do a walkthrough, and I'm to a point now I can kind of walk in the building and approximate about how long, based on what they need done, about how long it's going to take to get the job done. Yeah, it's just overall business ethics, ethics. It's taking a hit across the board, professionalism, that type of thing. That's all a part of that. Yeah, that's all a part of that. Ethics. Guys, got any more questions for me real quick before I... Wow, I didn't think this video was going to go an hour considering the subject matter, but as long as you guys got the answers to the questions, I'm okay with it. I actually spoke to an Amazon rep. I'll do a total different video on that. It probably won't even be a live video. I'll probably just do a regular video on that. But I actually spoke to an Amazon rep about their cleaning program. That was pretty unique. But yeah. You guys got any? Yeah, this business is steady growing. This business is steady growing worldwide. It's not even just United States. Worldwide, this business steady growing because its developments and buildings always going up. Constructions, happening all over the country, all over the world. I'm gonna do a video about that, but I don't. I think it'll benefit Amazon way more than it'll benefit the end user if you join them. I don't. You guys have any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions? Again, if we get shut off here or I end the video, you have any other questions, you can always email me, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's bookfabiohart@gmail.com. bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's going to do it for now. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. And once again, that email address is BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART @gmail.com. Take care.